Take a look at this. It's Ron Howard. It's Henry Winkler reuniting as Richie Cunningham and the Fonz for a sketch on the Emmys.
Did you notice anything though?
Well, there was no music.
No theme song. You could do it.
No, come on. First of all, I'm out of practice.
Come on, you know you can do it.
In 2012, Suzanne Summers started hosting an online talk show called Breaking Through. 3 of the episodes were a reconciliation between her and Joyce DeWitt. They hadn't spoken to each other in 31 years.
Oh my God.
Hi.
Hi. Everybody was asking backstage, well, how do you feel? I said, you know, you can't plan feelings. I don't know, but I have to tell you right now, I am I'm very overwhelmed.
Then I need to say thank you for creating this opportunity.
Your hands are cold like mine.
Yeah. Circulation stops at the wrist.
Vicki Lawrence had a show called Vicki from 1992 to 1994. The show was strange because she had a lot of problems with the company that owned it and constantly fought with them, to the point that at one point Vicki was not hosted by Vicki. They had guest host instead of her because she wouldn't come back. But during the time where things were happy and peaceful on the show, they did a Mama's Family reunion.
Just in case people don't know, I thought we should just kind of run over what sort of characters we were. I, of course, was the matriarch. I, who am certainly one of the youngest people here.
Attila the Hun.
Well, you were...
I was Benton's loving wife.
You were a tramp, is what you were.
Tony Danza had his own talk show for a while, and as part of it, he did a special Who's the Boss reunion.
It's the Who's the Boss reunion hour. Now, what'd you think I'd be doing? Driving a taxi? I'm Tony Danza, and I'm live from New York City. Do you remember when we first met, Alyssa?
I do, yeah. I remember I was 10 years old. I auditioned for the show.
By the way, your voice. Nice to meet you.
And Mrs. Rossini was there as a special guest.
Rhoda Gemignani, everybody. Come join us. Sit down.
You from us all.
Come on, sit over there. Get in.
You
Let me
know
get
how? You know how?
Come
They
in.
kept me in the
Move over
broom.
here. Come over
They
here.
kept me in the broom closet.
We did have her in a broom closet. We didn't have a dressing room for her. We had to hide her. What do you want from her?
The best part of this one was that they did a scene from the show in character.
I'll take this, dear, because I certainly know you won't be needing it.
Vivian Vance and Lucille Ball worked together after I Love Lucy on The Lucy Show, and then the two were reunited years later on The Dinah Shore Show, 1975.
You thought I was in an old ladies' home, didn't you? I didn't know where you were. I knew you were out here once and I was away, and then I didn't know what happened to you. I didn't hear.
We talked on the phone a lot, but we haven't seen each other.
Where have you been?
Oh, I've been doing all kinds, selling coffee mostly.
Well, that I see.
Make every cup fresh. See those flavor buds? They're what does it.
Tastes fresh.
Right. When you make it fresh, every cup tastes fresh, like your first cup in the morning.
We've been through a lot together, 2 husbands, 2 divorces. This is material that Lucille wrote. And I'm going to read it.
I love it. I love it.
Is this your employment contract? Party, the first part, must promise to never dye her hair within 5 shades either way of the party of the second part, also known as the lovable natural redhead.
Yes, of course.
Part 2. Party of the first part must also agree to put on an additional 5 pounds every month for the next year.
On one of those episodes of The Lucy Show, William Frawley made his very last television appearance.
Excuse me, are you the owner of this place?
Owners don't carry brooms. I'm a trainer.
Oh.
Hey, boss! There's a dame here to see you.
You know, he reminds me of someone I used to know. Really?
This was shot in October of 1965, and Bill passed away in the next March.
Looking back on his career before his death, Frawley dismissed his time in Hollywood, saying, "I was in a few pictures, maybe 1 or 2 good ones. I just took the money and ran.
There's no use taking a chance."
A lot of the trash TV shows would also try to do these reunions. Jerry Springer did a reunion of the Beverly Hillbillies cast.
I was just wondering if there was any romantic relations between anybody on the show.
Yeah, let's hear a little bit of gossip. You're not going to get on a daytime talk show and not give us a little bit of dirt.
But Max, I think, went on a date or 2 with Sharon Tate.
Yeah, I took Sharon out a couple of times.
Oh, it's a tough crowd.
He ended up playing Janet Trigo, which was Jane Hathaway's secretary on the show, her assistant. And I took her out a couple of times. She was really a terrific girl, though.
The problem with these is they would always try to just get some dirty gossip.
What was it like to work with Elvis Presley?
Well, it was a little bit different than Jethro.
Does this remind... Oh, make love.
In 1997, Jenny Jones did a reunion of What's Happened.
I'm wondering because you're saying that you were such a good guy, but is that really true, though, you guys?
He is the most intelligent one. But you give him $1 and tell him to take the bus from here. He can't do it.
It was great to see Shirley Hempel one last time. She passed away 2 years later. Now, there was a different type of daytime talk show on the air in the 1990s. Rosie O'Donnell had her show, and she would always bring back a lot of people from our childhood. I remember she had Fred Rogers on as a guest.
Hey, would you be?
Could you be? Will you be my neighbor? Mr. Rogers, ladies.
She had the Monkees on, which was phenomenal. The Monkees were a group of actors who were cast to play a band, and then they stayed a band after the show went off the air.
What can I say? I've practiced this next sentence for about 20 years. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Monkees!
In 1997, Rosie brought on TV's Odd Couple.
How's your new baby girl?
Oh, she's so lovely.
How old is she now?
She's 6 months.
And how tired are you, Dad?
Oh, well, she sleeps through the night now. It's just, oh, it's lovely. It's the most wonderful thing of my entire life.
Tony Randall was 77 years old. He was married to a 22-year-old, if I remember correctly, and they just had their second baby, and there's a lot of talk about wieners.
Heather noticed that every time she changed the baby, these two little boys are watching, and he said, "She doesn't have a wiener."
In 2011, the cast of Welcome Back, Kotter appeared on Good Morning America.
It looks like it was made yesterday. I said, honey, that's called timeless. That's called classic.
Except for the clothes.
They were among the cast of several shows that reunited at the TV Land Awards that year, and so this was done as promotion for them.
John, would you let your daughter date a sweat hog?
Probably not.
Hey, quick shout out to the folks on Patreon, including my big brother Rob, who I used to watch all these shows with. Also, Michael and Jessica, Chris, and Matthew David Chapin. Go ahead and sign up on Patreon. I'll send you a postcard in the mail every single month. Sometimes they don't do reunions because of things that happen to the actors involved in the shows. Michael Richards is one of those. People hadn't seen him at all in years. And then when Jerry Seinfeld had the premiere of Unfrosted, that movie about Pop-Tarts he made, Michael Richards was there, and the two of them reunited on the red carpet. Man, this was a lot of fun. It's nice to look back at these shows. I miss all these characters. I remember sitting around watching What's Happening, watching all these. I love these shows. I actually was recently looking into All in the Family because there's a crazy story with Archie Bunker's chair. They donated it to the Smithsonian when they thought the show was ended. And then the show was picked up for several more years, and the Smithsonian would not give them the chair back. And so they were left with the only solution was to create the most expensive TV prop in the history of television, Archie Bunker's chair. You can find out all about that in a video that I'll put right up here. Otherwise, YouTube says this one is what is best for you. There's a second channel, by the way. Go check it out. I'll see you next time.